Now we're going to insert another slide that contains a chart. So we click New Slide, type the title, and we choose from among the 6 icons here. The icon for inserting a chart is this one. And the chart type we want is called area. And under the area chart type, we have 6 subtypes. We want the first subtype. So we choose that and we click OK. Now you'll see a separate window opening up in Excel because we need to enter the data for our PowerPoint chart here. And you can see that the Excel spreadsheet is organized as a series of rows and columns. So on column A, we basically need to enter the years because these would be the labels on our horizontal axis. So I'll go ahead and type 2013 because that's the start of our year series. Now, when I press enter, what happens is 2013 has been formatted as a date, so it appears as July 5, 1905. But we just need to change that over here, select number instead of date, and also click on this button, decrease decimal, because we don't want the decimal places. I'll decrease it by 2. Okay, so now it looks like the format that we want. And now I'm going to click on A2 where I entered the format. I'm going to use this format painter to copy the format to the other rows. So they'll all appear as numbers with no decimal place. And now I can type 2014, 2015. Now, the series goes all the way to 2020. And as you can see, we don't have enough room here. So I have to click on this lower right-hand corner of this blue box to give myself more room. I need to add 3 more rows here. Okay, and instead of typing the rest of the years, I'm just going to select A2 to A4, and I'm going to point to this black square on the lower right-hand corner, and I'll just drag it down. And it automatically fills in the rest of the years for me because it knows that it's +1, the pattern. Okay, and now that we've saved ourselves some time, we're going to enter our data. Now we have 3 sets of data, one for software as a service, one for platform as a service, one for infrastructure as a service. And as you can see, we only have room for 2 series. So once again, we have to click on this lower right-hand corner and drag it 1 more column to the right to create a 3rd series. And now we can enter our label, SAAS, and I'll put a $sign there to indicate that these are dollar figures, PAAS, and IAAS. Now I can go ahead and enter the figures. So let me turn to the handout that has the numbers, and you can type that in. Now there's decimal places in some of them. You do need to enter the decimal places. PAAS. Okay, and now that we've finished entering all of our figures, we double check quickly to make sure it's correct. And when we're done, over here on the upper right-hand corner, there's a X where you can click and it will close the Excel window. And you will now see that the data has been entered into the chart. Now let's see if we need to do some formatting. Yes, we do. Okay, so one of the things we need to do is move this legend to the bottom of the chart instead of on the right-hand side. So right-click, Format legend, change the position to the bottom. So there it is now. We also want to insert a description for the for the vertical axis. So we'll go to layout up here, and we want to add an axis title on the vertical axis, and we want it to be a horizontal title. So now we have a placeholder where we can enter some description for the vertical axis. Let's change the formatting. Okay. And we want to put dollar signs here on the labels on the vertical axis. So format the axis and go to number, currency, but with 0 decimal places. Okay. And well, one thing you'll notice is that the top of our curve is pretty close to the top of the chart area. So if you want to give yourself some room, we can format the axis once again and change the maximum unit to 180, so that gives us a bit more space on top. So I'm going to type 180 here. Okay, and since 180 is now our topmost number, we have a bit more space up here. And you can see that the market for software as a service is the biggest market for the public cloud, and it's a lot bigger than PaaS and IaaS, which appears down here. And one last thing we need to do is insert a text box to indicate the source of our data. So I'm going to go up here, insert, text box, and now I can click anywhere on the chart and start typing into the text box, and I can also drag it to where it should appear. And that's our slide with a chart.